So the question is, how do I make it? So I'm assuming that the question is about like, how am I making it as a woman living with HIV? The best way that I can answer this question is the first thing I had to do, I had to accept my I had to accept my new normal, right? My new normal, meaning who I was before my diagnosis. I was no longer her anymore. I knew I was going to think different. Well, I had, at that point, I was thinking different. I was living different. Everything about my life was different, right? Excuse me. So I first had to accept, Shatrivia, you are a woman living with HIV, right? And it took me a long time to do that because I still was attaching everything to the person that gave me HIV, the person that I felt was supposed to make me feel better because I was HIV positive. But I had to accept, Shatrivia, you are HIV positive. And it was hard for me to accept that. We don't want to accept that. We want to, I'm saying we as in some other people might feel like this. We want to be the same person that we was before we was HIV positive, and we try our best to be that person still living like a person that's HIV positive, right? So the second thing I had to do was I had to forgive myself. Whew. I'm so sorry, y'all. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm not sleepy, but I'm yarning. This always happens. But anyway, I had to forgive myself, right? Forgive myself looked at like me forgiving what I allowed to happen to me, right? I chose to have unprotected sex for whatever reason. And me doing that positioned myself to be HIV positive because I was not protecting myself. So I had to forgive myself. And the other side to forgiving yourself is forgiving the person that gave it to you, right? Forgive them because you deserve that peace. You deserve that peace of mind by letting that go, right? So those are two parts: forgive yourself and forgive the other person. And the last thing will be to stop coughing. I'm sorry, y'all. Ugh. The last thing will be wait. Accepting was first, forgiving yourself and forgiving that person. And the last thing will be falling in love with your new self, whatever that may look like. Because when we diagnose with HIV, we live in shame. We stigmatize ourselves, right? With all of these negative thoughts, right? So once you fall in love with yourself, or you begin to fall in love with yourself, you already have accepted yourself as a person living with HIV, and then now you got to get to know your new self, because now you have to take better care of yourself. So taking better care of yourself is going to make you love you and value you more, right? So now you got to do now loving yourself means you have to do self-development. You have to do self-work. Work on yourself, not your outer appearance, your inner appearance. Learn what makes you happy. Learn what makes you sad, right? And when you learn those things, you will actually start to value and appreciate yourself. Like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I like that. And not only that, work on your attitude. Work on the way you handle people. Work on the way that people handle you, right? All of this is character. This builds your character, right? Not only do you work on it's funny for me to say this because I'm literally on the thing right now. Usually I've been and thought about it, but I just literally clicked it. Loving on yourself is working on yourself intimately. And I mean intimately, right? Focusing on your inner person, right? Because once you take your medication, once you go to the doctor and all of that, you're fine. Now you have to work on your thoughts. You have to think about what you're thinking about. You got to read books that's going to deprogram you from the behavior that you used to have. That's loving on yourself, right? So anything pertaining self-development and self-work, self-awareness, that's what you have to do. So for me, that's how I make it. I do all of those things I just said. I literally get down to the nitty gritty when it comes to who I am, right? Like in this season of my life, I'm learning not to take offense to people when they giving me advice or they sharing things with me. I'm learning not to take offense. That helps me with my identity, right? And that helps me deal with people better because I don't take offense to everything. Everybody is not trying to hurt you. Just trivia. Everybody is not out to get you. So that's me loving on myself, right? That's me being patient with myself and learning my train of thought and the way I think. Sometimes the way you think can have you looking at things wrong, right? So that's how I make it. I just every day try to become the best version of myself. But you cannot become the best version of yourself if you cannot accept that I am a person living with HIV and this is what happened to me. But just because this happened to me, this don't define who I am. I am still who I am. Period. Okay, I hope this makes sense. I know I was all over the place and I was yarning, but for the most part, you just got to get to know your new self and walk in your new normal. This is a new normal for you. So you have to be okay with becoming a different person. There's nothing wrong with that, because as long as we here on this earth, to we're going to continue to evolve. And the more you evolve, it's like you becoming someone else over and over and over again. It's like recreating yourself, right? So that's how I make it. I recreate myself. I have recreated who I am, right? And I don't let HIV dictate nothing for me. And I always say I have HIV. HIV don't have me. I hope that makes sense, y'all.